Welcome back, tribe. I have 20 minutes of women begging for a good man. Let's get into it.
A quick question. Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not. It's not the coffee shops. I've been trying that. I've been trying that for a while now. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22. So they definitely don't want to be in a relationship. And I definitely do not want to be a cougar. Nothing wrong with that. Just not my type. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. Even they are still figuring things out. Yeah, they are. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That want to date to eventually get into a relationship? That are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. I need to know, because I have yet to find them. And I've been looking, so maybe I should stop looking. I don't know. But if you know, please let me know. Help your girl out. Where are we meeting the good men? Where?
They're already taken with women much younger than you. Sorry, but the reality is all the good men you had, you passed on when you were in your prime. See, when you were younger and you were having fun and you were going to bars and you were going to clubs and you were going to all the sorority parties and you were doing all these things, time was clicking. Father Time was watching. Now your time is up. You're not going to meet, quote, any good men at your age anymore. Sorry, but that's the truth. All the good men have worked their asses off. They went through school. They've excelled in their careers. They built businesses. And now that they're settling into having money and matured and knowing what they want out of life, what they want is not you. What they want isn't a car with high mileage. Sorry, ladies. It's the truth. There's no other way to put this, man. You're on the clock. And the brutal part of that coin is men have to make something of themselves. If men have to make something of themselves, if they have to work hard to become something, if man has no value by definition of being a man, society doesn't care about us until we make ourselves worthwhile, then you have to understand the other side of the coin is you have all the power when you're young. You can snag a good man when you're in your 20s, when you haven't had tremendous amounts of emotional damage from hookup culture, from dating apps, from constantly letting guys into you that you're not into yourself. Your whole rebelling phase, the whole having fun, the whole no consequences, I'm a strong boss babe, independent woman, don't need no man, comes back to bite you in the ass when you start to turn 35, 40, all these age ranges that we're seeing all these videos in. This is the consequences of not taking your body and yourself serious. You thought you could have fun forever. The carousel spins and spins and spins until it throws you off. And now you woke up to the reality that there really is no more suitors for you. That ended. You had your shot. You had all the power. Now you have to deal with the consequences. Unfortunately, collecting cats and dogs or settling for a man you don't like yourself. He's going to be spineless turd. He is going to be a simp. He's going to be all these things you despise in men. He's never going to say no to you. You're going to walk all over him. You're going to control everything. You're going to end up cheating on him. You're going to resent him, and you're going to hate the fact that he can't put you in your place. He can't act like a man. He can't lead. He can't do anything, quote, resembling manly, masculine man's man that you're into. Oh, well, we tried to warn you. The best you can do now is warn other women. Honestly, just tell other women, here's what awaits you at 40. It ain't pretty, man.
Are we meeting the men that actually want to be in a real relationship? Let me know.
They're leaving family court, being invisible to you, or in the friend zone. I have another question. And where are the girls who want a relationship? No guy wants to give half his stuff away, not worth the risk anymore. We're all gone. We do better on our own. We're happier. Less drama, less arguments. No more losing everything that we have invested. I was told they are in the friend zones. We're at work and at home now. We're done with the bars. We're tired. You meet them all the time. You just don't see them because they're not your type.
Do people actually get asked on dates in real life? Like people come up to you, like attractive people that you would want to go on a date with come.
Pause. See, there it goes. Attractive people. So she gets propositioned. People come up to her. It's just not the people she wants. And of course, the men that she wants won't come up to her because they have options. They don't have to go through all the extra hoops. And here's the other side of the coin that you don't want to be real with. He probably doesn't find you attractive. There's nothing about you that's feminine, that's sweet, that's nurturing. The energy you give off, you probably don't smile. You don't do anything welcoming to get a high value man to come up to you. That's the reality of the situation. This is the world you built. You've hypersexualized yourself and society as a whole. You called it strong and empowering. And now men have tons of options to choose from as well on the dating apps. At least the men you're looking at. I know it's hard for the bottom 60, 80%, but the men she sees are the only men in her world that exist, which is the top 20% of men. And those guys have options. They don't have to approach you. They don't have to do anything, and they don't need to put in any work. If you make it even an inkling more difficult for a man to approach you, you're getting nexted because there's 5 others to replace you. This is the world you've built. These are the consequences you're living under.
Come up to you and ask you to go on a date, and then like they want to take you on a date. That has like literally actually never happened to me in my entire life. The closest thing today I was going to get lunch with my friends, and I was walking, and this like 65-year-old man stopped me and goes, "Hey, do you happen to be single?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Oh, you're beautiful." He was literally 65 years old. So that's what I get. People go on dates, and the people that get asked on the dates, and they want to go on the dates, and they do. That's crazy, you guys. That's crazy.
Comment section was filled with bitter women saying how they don't get approached by the guys they want and how only creeps talk to them. I will mention my 2 favorite comments. You come across as fake and annoying, so that's probably why. I get guys that look like Shrek to tell me I'm beautiful usually. Ouch. Talk about being brutally honest, or maybe just brutal. But then come the responses. Maybe because you look like Fiona, and you met the guys you deserve. Now that's what you call a reality check served with a side of savage wit. Let's break this down. Her original comment, let's be honest, reeks of arrogance and entitlement. It's like she expects Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet, but she's quick to dismiss anyone who doesn't fit her fantasy. But the internet being what it is, doesn't hold back. The first response flips her narrative, implying that maybe she's not the belle of the ball herself. It's a taste of her own medicine, served with a dose of Shrek-themed humor. And the second response? That's just the cherry on top. It's a straightforward, no-frills reality check. Maybe the guys approaching her are exactly what she deserves based on her attitude and outlook. It's a harsh truth, but sometimes the truth is exactly what we need to hear. This exchange is a perfect example of how some modern women set these unrealistic standards and then are shocked when real life doesn't match their fantasy world. They want the dream guy but scoff at anyone who doesn't measure up to their inflated expectations. And when someone calls them out on it, it's like a bucket of cold water. Shocking, but maybe necessary.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Hoflation. You got to work 10 times your grandpappy did to get a tenth of the woman. It is what it is, man. Look, the narratives in society today don't bode well for relationships. The laws in society today don't bode well for marriage. Culturally, we're broken. Legally, we're broken. You're asking men to enter this contract with women that don't want to cook and clean, don't want to be a partner to you, are adversarial, always competing against you, never working together, gets their cues on relationships from drama shows, trash media, social media in general, the worst of the worst grifters online telling women how to behave, how to treat a man, what they deserve, the entitlement, the attitude, the arrogance. All men are tired of that. And this is why men are starting to go overseas. And I'm telling you, when you notice that the average woman is far more beautiful overseas, especially in Eastern Europe. I'm only speaking about Eastern Europe. I haven't traveled everywhere else, but I'll have Asia on the docket soon. In Eastern Europe, far more beautiful on average, far more approachable, far more feminine, far more family oriented. That's literally all men are asking for and are looking for. So when they go overseas and they get a culture shock that approaching a woman, that going out with a woman is so pleasant, that she's happy that you took her out, thanks you for your time, and reciprocates that energy in her feminine way, you will completely disassociate and drop all Western women after just one trip overseas. It is going to be shocking. Mind-blowing doesn't begin to describe what it's like to date and spend time with a female that has her head screwed on right and hasn't been indoctrinated in the mainstream thinking of girl empowerment, all this. No adversarial energy whatsoever. People in the other parts of the world are far more pragmatic and understand that two people coming together is a good thing, is empowering, is the best option for each person. It's what we've done for thousands of years. It's what works. It's only here in the West with luxury beliefs that we've changed everything on top of its head, that we've changed everything, turned everything on top of its head, and we're trying to act like this is progress, like this is the new way forward and this is good. If that's the case, more people would be getting married. More people would be reporting that they're happy. Less people on drugs, less people with mental illness, less statistics about crime, homelessness, depression, all this stuff, incarceration. No, we're trending in the wrong direction in every facet of society today. Socially, people are not happy. People feel isolated. Here's women complaining about why they're isolated, and then men retract, complaining their own ways about being isolated, and they're done with the game. They rather indulge in video games, and they're cool with it. Indulge in anime, they're cool with it. Indulge in adult entertainment, takes the edge off. That's fine, bro. Men are choosing to retract, and women are now voicing their issues all over the internet. Where are all the good men at? It used to be, you used to hear that from like one or two women that were always older and they made bad mistakes. But now it's women from all age ranges everywhere are saying it. This is them feeling the pain. This is the consequences of the narrative you wrought down on society. Men are done. And for the ones that aren't done, they're probably in the top percentile and they're enjoying the fruits of the labor of hypersexualization. They're having a grand old time. They have women lined up day in and day out. There's no reason to settle down in the West today when you have endless fruit to pick from.
Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
It's clear this isn't just a passing trend. It's a profound shift in societal dynamics with far-reaching implications. Let's have a look at some comments. Gave 22 years of my life to my partner, only to find out she was having an affair. She lives in the house that I still pay for with my kids. Unfair. 1. Saving money. 2. No risk being devastated again. 3. No expectations. 4. Focus on myself. 5. One-night stands are easy. 6. Disappointing dating phase. Because nobody is trustworthy and loyal these days. Dating apps made it all about looks. Also, many women make you fight tooth and nail for a relationship, and I'm not saying it should be easy. Women need to give without asking. Compassion and kindness. The disrespect after the man commits is unacceptable. It's like having to manage a child's emotional state. A lot of men are rational creatures. If the costs of something outweigh its benefits, it's simply not worth it. We love unconditionally. Most women love conditionally.
Have you ever seen a man on a dating app say he's looking for someone with a good sense of humor? Because in this very well-known study, they found that when women said they wanted someone with a good sense of humor, they meant someone who will make them laugh. But when men said they wanted a woman with a good sense of humor, they meant a woman who will laugh at their jokes. In every other context other than friendship, men preferred women who would laugh at their jokes over women who would make jokes themselves. And that's like the least surprising thing ever, but it's kind of funny to have empirical scientific data to back it up. What is it though? Is it that men are like threatened by funny women?
She actually thinks she said something intelligent. If this delusional misandrist can name 5 funny female comedians, I'll agree with her. Reality is, most women barely have a personality, let alone a sense of humor. Men enjoy a woman that laughs at his jokes because it makes him feel special, whereas women feel special in other ways. Not rocket science.
If you're a male and you're like, what the hell, there's no good females out there to date, these are all trash options, what do I do? I was talking to my boyfriend the other day and he was telling me that he had such a hard time finding a girlfriend before he met me, and this is why. Tell me if you agree. So he would walk up to a lot of different females. That's basically what he did to me. That's how he found me, okay? And when he walked up to these females, he would say, hi, just like that, and want to start a conversation. He said so many people would just look him in the eyes and either just walk away, like straight up, look at him and just leave, or they would give him like the biggest resting bitch face and then be such a bitch to him that it's like, why would you even want to have a conversation? It's like you're talking to a wall or someone that like wants to stab you in the face. it was really, really uncomfortable. In fact, we actually did this little exercise. It was funny. Like, he was sitting down on the beach, and then I was going for a walk. And when I got back from my walk, I walked up to him pretending like I didn't know him. And I'm just like, hi, nice to meet you. What book are you reading? And he looked at me like he wanted to kill me. And he was like, it's a book about houses or something like that. I don't know what he said. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like really trying to have a conversation, but it's like, how the fuck do you have a conversation with someone when they don't want to talk to you and they're like, what, like, why are you in my space? And they look at you like you're almost an alien. Okay. So females, if you're listening to this video, that is from a male perspective. Okay. So if you're a male and you're watching this video, I totally get it. Okay. Like, there are many people out there that probably look at you like you're absolutely crazy. Okay. Females, if you're watching this video, just be aware that if someone comes up to talk to you, it takes a lot of courage to do that. Just like walking up to someone in general is very intimidating and scary. Okay. And you're probably beautiful. Okay. So that's why they're walking up to you. So if anything, just be a little bit more nice when they do walk up to you, have a conversation. I mean, they are human beings. So if anything, you can just have like a fun, nice conversation. I get it. If like you don't want to be bothered, just say like, oh yeah, this is the book I'm reading. It's called How Emotions Are Made. Yeah. But if you don't mind, I was just really busy reading. I'm going to keep doing my thing if that's okay. Something like that is so simple. It's very polite. And honestly, I think that's kind of like what I always did when I lived in Chicago. I sat in the Riverwalk and so many people would just walk up to me randomly. But I think it's very good to always be open to people, always be open to opportunity. And if you don't like someone, that's fine too. You can just straight up say like, thank you for having, or like starting a conversation. Like, I'm doing my own thing and that's that. Okay. But I did think it was very interesting from a male perspective that it is very challenging to find people in this world that will just be very open and have a conversation. That's why he told me, he's like, when I came up to you, you were like the friendliest person that I've talked to in a very long time. And we ended up talking for like the entire sunset, and it was like pitch black outside and we were still talking, and it was just amazing. Like, we had a ton in common, and it was just like the vibe was instantly there. So like, maybe it was a coincidence, I don't know. But you know, just try to be more.
She's describing what almost every Eastern European female is like, and what everybody's reporting when they go overseas. Just open, willing to talk, has no problem being approached. That's what's missing today. And the issue boils down to their perception. The perception in the West for women is absolutely skewed to the top 5 percentile of men because of social media, because of dating apps, and women constantly being told that they deserve the best and they shouldn't settle for anything. So this delusion embeds itself in real life. So her experience, or the experience that women are having today, is when by all means, good man, metrics are decent, guy comes up and talks to a woman. If he doesn't look like 6'6", 10-pack, wads of hundreds just falling out of his pockets, you know what I mean? That's an absolute no-no, and she's settling. That's what I mean when I say perception. The perception is broken, which leads them to put up the bitch shield, which leads them to act cold and like a wall, so they're unapproachable. If they fix their perception and they're able to value men accurately, then they would be far more open. So when you're approaching a woman in the West and she gives you the cold shoulder like that, or she's unapproachable, it's because her standards are completely out of whack. She thinks she's better than you. That's really what it is, man. That's what it boils down to. Unfortunately, what women think an average guy should look like today is so out of the realm of normal. It borders on a mental disease. It really does. To experience it on my end as a man going overseas and saying hi to somebody, and a woman being super receptive and smiling and fully into what you're saying and attentive and puts her phone down and doesn't even worry about the messages and is like completely engaged with you, is so refreshing, man. As opposed to going on a date on the West and getting this combative nature where she's checking her phone or just more into eating and closed off answers on all the questions, and it's like a bother for her to be there, and completely just the negative experience alone makes you so put off from dating in the West that you're done. I'm checking out. That's it. I don't want to go on another date like that again. Garbage. And I get guys. I get it, dude. I get if you go through that, you spent this money on your date, you got ready, you could have been doing something else with your time that's far more productive and fun. Instead, you are hoping that this match would be different, and they end up being the same. It's the same goddamn conversations, the same questions, the same attitude, same expectations, same low quality pool. And that's what leads a man to check out. No, you're not insane. Yes, the dating pool is tainted here. And I'm sure it's tainted for women too in their own jacked up ways. But a lot of it for women is self-inflicted. That's the issue.
open to opportunity from both sides of the story, okay? Males and females. Males, I'll just say, keep going out there, keep finding your people, keep doing your thing. And females, keep smiling, keep putting away that resting bitch face, and just be open to opportunities. And honestly, like, we can switch sides too. Like, females can walk up to males, right? And males, don't be so like, you know, like, oh my God, like, I'm so cool and like stuff like that. If a female walks up to you to have a conversation, like, just be open to it. Honestly, I think that's the main way we're going to get rid of like the
You notice how she framed that argument, like the guy's acting nonchalant and cool? That's what a top percentile man would do. Guys that are starved for attention, remember when the lady in the aisle gave them a compliment on their physique 10 years ago? Or the dude held the door up and was like, what's going on, big man? Looking good. That men get like 2-3 compliments in a lifetime. The average dude remembers the few times he's gotten a compliment. These people, I'm telling you, their advice is somewhat solid, but it's surface level, man, because the average dude's experiences in the dating world and just being noticed in general out in public is so alien to these people. They can't fathom what it's like being an invisible. That's what it is, the invisible class of men today. And unfortunately, the game's brutal. It's, as much as it is brutal for them in regards to their age and the time limit, it is for men on your value and being valueless by default. You have to build worth. You have to build value. You have to build yourself up as a man to be noticed by society in general. See what some of the comments say.
Modern dating of using a dating app and finding like trash options on there, okay? Because it's so easy to hide behind your phone and do this stuff. So get some courage and good luck. Put a smile on your face and good luck. I love you. Bye.
This clip is a perfect illustration of the modern dating catastrophe. Have a look at comments. This is how they respond on dating apps too. Like, why did you swipe on me if you aren't interested in talking to me? Don't waste your time, gents. It's not worth the pain. Social media has killed social interaction and overinflated egos. Everyone thinks they're special. Lots of people just don't have personalities nowadays. I was sitting at a bar, and a woman sat next to me with 3 books, and I tried talking about the books she had since I read them. I got resting bitch face as a reply. People are just unkind. Even if you're not into someone, there is no excuse to be rude or unkind.
That was from Man Guide. I'm liking this channel, dude. Go show him some love. It doesn't take courage to approach these days. It takes insanity. Why should an average man who spends his younger years being ghosted by these nutters suddenly allow them to settle for him because they're desperate for financial support? And that's what men feel like today, overwhelmingly. When you work your ass off and then all of a sudden the women that you're, quote, friends with, or women in general, now that you're reaching your 30s, start to pay attention to you, there is a bit of bitterness there on the men's side because they understand now. You know, the Disney illusion has been completely torn off. And you are aware that you are the second choice, not even the second choice. You're like the 50th choice. You're just the backup plan. You're the orbiter. And for a lot of men, they can't handle that, man. And they prefer to be alone than to be settled down with. And by the way, if you get settled down with, you're most likely headed for a divorce. Imagine putting a ring on somebody that doesn't look at you as their first choice, as their best choice. I mean, it's highly likely for every single one of us we're going to end up in that position, but damn, at least be second, maybe third. This is why body count is so important to men. This is why promiscuity is so important for healthy relationships, for marriage, for divorce rates. All these issues happen because hookup culture and the damages it brings forward to everybody else. But okay, howling at the moon here, right? I lived with a girl once and I learned what it's like to not want to my own house. I will never put myself in that position again. Nothing worse than walking on eggshells in your own house. Boy, oh boy. And this is why some men are working overtime, 80, 100-hour weeks. They'll do anything to avoid being home. Sad state of affairs. We'll see you guys on the next one.